Hey guys, Chef Danie here. Welcome to our new video series, Chef Danie Cooks at Home. If you like these videos, and I know you will, make sure to click the like button and definitely subscribe so that you can see upcoming videos anytime we post them. You can also join us over on our Patreon page and become a supporter to help us be able to make more of these videos. I appreciate you watching, and please enjoy.
5 cloves of garlic, and we're going to finely mince those cloves of garlic just like this. Put those aside in a bowl. We are making shrimp scampi, and shrimp scampi is a great dish to make any night of the week. It's an easy dish, as you're going to see. It takes very few ingredients. You probably already have them at home. So I'm using a summer squash, but you could use any kind of vegetable that's in season or anything that you might have around the house. I like to cut it kind of small. These came from the farmer's market. I recommend that you get what's in season. Check out your local farmer's markets. They have lots of great stuff. So I'm going to cut it into quarters, and then I'm going to cut these pieces. Just small pieces. This time of year, summer squash is delicious, and that'll be beautiful in our scampi. I just have one. There's just 2 of us eating tonight, so I don't need a whole bunch, so 1 will be fine. It's pretty inexpensive to cook for just a couple of people, and you usually have leftovers. There's the summer squash, and then we have our garlic. The only other thing that I like to put in the scampi is some mushrooms. And mushrooms, you never ever want to wash. You only want to wipe them. So just wipe off any dirt that was on them. So if you see dirt on the surface, you want to wipe it off. When you put mushrooms in water, what happens to them is they absorb all of that water because they're kind of like a sponge. So we don't want that to happen, because then we'll have some kind of rubbery mushrooms, and that's not what we want in our scampi today. I'm going to slice those into big slices, because the mushrooms tend to cook down a little bit when you cook them, and I want to still be able to see the pieces of mushrooms. Our mushrooms, we have our garlic. Now all we're going to need is some shrimp, some butter, and our pan to get this started, a little bit of white wine. So now I'm going to move to the range to show you how to put it all together. All right, we're moving to the pan to make our scampi. Turn the pan on high. I've got a pot of water boiling over there for our pasta. We'll put that on shortly. To our pan, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to let that melt. Once our butter has started to melt, then we're going to go ahead and add our garlic to the pan. We want to cook our garlic for just about 45 seconds before we add everything else. We want to get it started cooking and get that flavor developing into our pan and into our butter. After that, we're going to add our chopped vegetables, which we have summer squash and mushrooms. You want to add the veggies that are going to take the longest first. These take a little longer than the mushrooms do, so I'm going to put those in the pan and let them hang out for just a little bit. We want to stir them a little, but then we want to let them kind of cook also, because if we keep stirring them, they're not going to have any surface that they're touching on the pan so that they can cook. So let's let them sit there for just a little bit and cook away. Once these have started to kind of cook down a little bit, you can kind of start to see them getting a little bit of color on there. Then we're going to start to add our other veggies. Our water for our pasta has come to a boil, and what we want to do once the water comes to a boil is we want to salt it. And I always use something called a pinch pot where I can feel the salt in my hands when I'm putting it in. I want to do 2 good pinches. Never salt your water before it boils. You're just waiting longer for the water to boil. So let it boil first and then salt after. All right, we got some color going on now. It's time to go ahead and add our mushrooms. The mushrooms look like a lot right now, but that's just because mushrooms are going to soak up all the flavor and all the juices. They're actually going to take any of that water out of the pan that's in there. So any of the moisture that you see in the pan right now will soon be gone because of the mushrooms. They will soak all of it up and they will start to cook down. Right in the center here, while the mushrooms are doing their thing, I'm going to go ahead and add our shrimp. Now the shrimp that I have are 21.25, and you'll notice they're frozen. I always get them frozen, and I get them what's called IQF. They're individually quick frozen. Make sure you get local shrimp, but this is an easy way for you to be able to have shrimp and not have to worry about peeling, deveining. They've already done that, but also you can grab just a few out of the bag at a time. And as I said before, I'm cooking for just 2 tonight, so I just need a few of them. There's plenty more shrimp left in the bag, and that'll be for another night. But these are fresh Gulf shrimp, still frozen. They cook really quickly. You can cook straight from frozen, so that's what we're doing. Going right into the pan. Now, the water's boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and put my pasta in there. Use whatever pasta you like. This is a thin spaghetti. Never break your pasta. You want to put it in the pan whole, and eventually it'll go down into the water. While I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to go ahead and salt my shrimp. I also want to do fresh ground pepper. And then, of course, you know I'm going to use some secret seasoning. We can be pretty liberal with the secret seasoning. Alright, I'm going to take my pasta fork and just kind of give this a little swirl around. Going to get that pasta down into the pot. We want this to come back to a good boil. There's no sense in buying long pasta and then breaking it to go into the pot. If you wanted short pasta, just buy short pasta. But we have long pasta, so we want to leave it long. So now it's all in the pot. We're going to let that cook. Now, a lot of you may say, wouldn't fresh shrimp be better? And yes, you can get fresh shrimp and peel it and devein it and go through all of that. But what I'm trying to show you is a quick weeknight meal. Do you want to come home from work and peel and devein shrimp? I don't think so. So this is a way that we could get dinner on the table pretty quickly and not have to do all that extra work. These are still fresh shrimp. They're frozen right when they come in, so you don't have to worry about them losing any quality. It's one of the best ways to hold the shrimp. And when they do the IQF, it's just individually quick frozen, which means that they are individually frozen. So if you want 2 shrimp, you can grab 2 shrimp. If you want 10, you can grab 10. It's just an easy way for you to cook a meal and not have to defrost the whole bag of shrimp. All right, now you can see that we've made some juice from the shrimp being in there. The mushrooms are going to soak some of that up, so I'm going to let this cook for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we are going to add some white wine. Alright, it's time to deglaze the pan, and for that we want to use a little bit of white wine. It can be any white wine that you have. It's going to be about 1/2 cup. That will get all of our good flavor off the bottom of the pan here. And up into our sauce. All right, now we want to add some more butter. This time we're going to add about 4 tablespoons. Now, remember I said I was cooking for just 2 people, but we were going to have leftovers too. So we're not going to eat all of this. And when you put that much butter in there, everybody freaks out and is like, oh my God, that's a lot of butter. But you have to think about the fact that it's going to be more than 1 serving. All right, you see this makes a really nice sauce. And you might want to add a little fresh green parsley to this, or some chives to this to give it a little green color. I'm going to turn this down a little lower, and I'm going to let the butter melt for just a few minutes because we're waiting on our pasta. And when the pasta gets done, we're going to toss the pasta into the sauce and toss it all together. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and let it sit there and rest for a minute. Our pasta is done cooking, and now it's time to put our meal together. So we're going to turn off the pasta, but we don't want to drain the water out because pasta water is like liquid gold. We may need it to thicken up our sauce. So we're going to use a pasta fork to just pull the pasta over into the sauce. That one got away. And then we're going to stir this around. Gently, mixing the sauce with the pasta, all that flavor. If your sauce tends to get a little bit too thick after you do that, that's what we saved the extra pasta water for. And you'd want to get a small ladle, just a little bit of the pasta water, and you can add it straight into your pan. That'll give you a little extra thickness. Pasta water is full of that starch from the pasta, and like I said, it's liquid gold. Never throw it down the drain. All right, I also have some green that I've cut up here. This is just some Swiss chard that I cut just the ends off of to give us a little bit of extra color in our dish. And then I'm also going to top it with a little bit of Romano cheese. And that is your Scampi. Quick, easy meal any night of the week.